Pats Nation, we have done it, guys. We are finally here. We are at training camp. Football, it's pretty much officially back, okay? Preseason is just a couple of weeks away. We are less than a month from finally seeing some real NFL football back since February. Patriots football since January. So I am super excited, and you guys know that we are back with these breakdowns. We did them for OTAs. We did them for minicamp, but now is when we start to really take things away from what we are hearing now that we are in training camp. This is what is going to lead us into the 2023 season. This is where you need to start taking notes away from what we are hearing and what we are saying, because this is going to be your team for the most part for the 2023 season. I'm going to break you down for every single day of training camp. So buckle in, guys, because there's a lot of videos that are coming your way. So without further ado, though, let's roll that intro and hop into today's training camp recap. So first and foremost, as always, we're going to start with some general notes. And my first general note is that so far we're pretty healthy, and we're more healthy than we've seen at least this point on in the offseason compared to recent years. The Patriots, of course, just like every other team, start training camp or a few days before training camp with the PUP list or the illness list. Guys are going to start on this list that are essentially injured, so you don't expect them to be at camp. So the guys that were absent today: Calvin Anderson, offensive lineman, offseason addition for the Patriots, that's going to play a key role in fighting for a starting roster spot at the tackle position, which is pretty much wide open for guys other than Trent Brown, who is pretty much locked in there. But Michael Onwenu also out. We knew that he got injured that final game of the regular season against the Bills. He wasn't there for minicamp, wasn't there for OTAs as he got surgery this offseason. He's obviously still dealing with that. If there's one guy on this roster that I'm okay not being here for at least the start of training camp, it's Michael Onwenu. You know that you can rely on him. This dude is Mr. Reliable. This dude is an Iron Man, so not worried at all there. Cody Davis, he's someone that dealt with a pretty serious, I believe, knee injury that kept him out all of last season. He's still dealing with that injury that's continuing to keep him out. I've said before, I think Cody Davis is on the outside looking in, and if he doesn't get back to camp soon, he's going to be a guy who gets cut before roster cutdowns even start. Guys that did return: Lawrence Guy returns to practice after holding out with contract disputes. Patriots finally get their veteran defensive lineman back. Again, especially when we're talking about training camp, this is when the Patriots are getting ready for the start of this upcoming season. So if you want to be a big part of the season, you got to be at camp, because if you're not, they're going to find another guy to utilize in your position. DeMarcus Mitchell also returns. He dealt with an injury, I believe, the second to last game of the season or the last game of the season. We get him back, a core special teamer guy who could push for snaps on the defensive line this year. Also, Marte Mapu continues to be limited. We saw that in OTAs and minicamp. Looks like he's still in that same position. As always, today was a non-padded practice. You don't see pads on usually till day 4 or day 5. That's the same thing that happened here. They were in shells. They were in shorts, as expected. As also expected, they were working a lot in the red zone today. If you're at camp, expect that for the first few days. They're heavy. This is what they do every year. They're heavy in the red zone, especially to start camp. Some of you asked me, Global, what are some things that I can, look forward to? Any tips as I go to camp? I said, get as close to the end zone as possible. The end zone that is closest to the hill where fans can also sit, because that is where they're going to be working a lot, especially these wide receivers and the red zone drills. So if you can get there, that is a perfect spot, probably the best spot in the house. Now, Joe Judge continues to work pretty much only with the Patriots special teams, despite not having that title. He had more of an assistant to the head coach, a defensive role type of role, according to the Patriots website. He's not actually taking on that type of role, so everybody can calm down. That was more of a role that was given to him pretty much just so they didn't demote Cam Accord, right? Because if they gave Joe Judge that title of special teams coordinator, it means you're bumping down Cam McCord, and you don't want to do that to him. Also because he's been that guy for the last several years, and that's going to start messing with his confidence and whatnot. It's just not a smart move for the Patriots to do. So what did they do? They gave Joe Judge a different position on the website, although he is pretty much your primary special teams coach. And as he should not be touching any other part of the field. And as usual, the Patriots defense won today overall. The offense, not too hot here to start. And we're going to break that down here in each position. Before we do that, though, guys, as I try to bring up this banner, make sure you guys real quick hit that like button for me. It goes such a long way. You guys sometimes probably forget that the like button's a thing, or you say, hey, Patriots Global, it doesn't do anything, so I don't worry about it. Guys, it actually does so much for me. Commenting your thoughts in the comment section below, sharing the video, and especially leaving a thumbs up on this video goes such a long way for the YouTube algorithm and saying, hey, let's push this video out to other NFL fans, to other Patriots fans, and it helps the videos do so much better, and it helps the channel grow so much. So if you guys would do me a massive favor, leave a like on this video right now. It takes less than a second. You just tap it and you're done. It would mean the absolute world to me. So moving on here to each positions. For the quarterbacks, Mac Jones and just the quarterbacks today in general, not too hot of a day. In 11-on-11s, Mac Jones was 4 for 7. Bailey Zappi was 2 for 8. And Chase McSorley was 2 for 7. 7-on-7s, Mac Jones was 1 for 3 with an interception. Bailey Zappi was 2 for 3. And McSorley was 1 for 3. Like I said, not a good day for the quarterbacks. Mac Jones was still the best quarterback on the field today. He did have some nice throws, but it wasn't anything spectacular. He didn't have a bad day, but he didn't have an elite day. He was just an average quarterback overall on day one. As for running backs, Ramondre Stevenson saw very solid involvement today. Being the Patriots, obviously bell cow running back, but especially as a pass-catching running back. Lately, we've been talking about who is that third down receiving back for the Patriots, Pierre Strong, Ty Montgomery. But Pierre Strong showed a lot of promise in that area last year, and they could continue to look to Ramondre Stevenson for some reps as a pass-catching running back. Pierre Strong, a guy who we're expecting to take that second-year leap, did see some extra time today and starting involvement with the Patriots starting offense. Kevin Harris did mix in with the starting offense just about the same amount as Pierre Strong did. Maybe it could be a battle between those guys on, hey, which second-year running back is really going to push to actually be in the mix for the Patriots starting offense. Moving on to wide receivers here, Juju Smith-Schuster hauled in the first touchdown today for 11-on-11 practices from Mac Jones. Juju overall is the Patriots starting wide receiver. Whether it's on the Patriots depth chart or even at practices through drills, he was the first guy to go. He is your Patriots wide receiver one. That's how they're going to utilize things going forward. Now, Ty Montgomery today wasn't really practicing with the running backs. He was practicing yet again with the wide receivers. This is something that we constantly see. And he's officially listed on the Patriots website, not as a running back, but as a wide receiver. So maybe we shouldn't be talking about Ty Montgomery as a running back and maybe as a wide receiver. Maybe he's somebody they look at in a Cordero Patterson type of role. Something we haven't talked about, but food for thought. Now, Ty Montgomery also made a very impressive contested catch over Marte Mapu today for a touchdown. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it on social media already. He also hauled in a touchdown pass today from Mac Jones in the flat, and then later on caught 2 more touchdowns in 11-on-11s. He was involved a lot today, and he was involved in the red zone a lot today. People who have him as a surprise cut is absolutely mind-blowing to me. Based off of reps today, Demario Douglas looks like he's ahead of Kayshon Boutte in the running for that 5th wide receiver spot. Douglas also saw a few reps with the starters. No surprise here. I've told you guys for months now, it's Demario Douglas over Kayshon Boutte for me, and that's exactly how things are panning out. No looks today for Malik Cunningham at quarterback. He still works as a wide receiver, so if you were hoping that he was going to get some looks at quarterback, hate to burst your bubble, that's not going to happen. Moving on to tight ends, Scotty Washington had a drop. Hunter Henry hauled in a nice touchdown today in 11-on-11s, and then later on beat Patriots first-round rookie cornerback Christian Gonzalez for a touchdown. Overall today, there wasn't a lot to say about Christian Gonzalez, and people are going to take that away and say, oh, God, he's not performing well. But Christian Gonzalez is the type of cornerback where you don't want to hear his name. If you don't hear his name, he's doing a good job. And other than him giving up a touchdown to Hunter Henry, we didn't hear really anything about him today. In general, though, Hunter Henry saw a lot of targets with the Patriots starting offense. Now, UDFA tight end Johnny Lumpkin also had a nice touchdown catch today from Trace McSorley in 7-on-7s. Looks like he's working more with the third team offense, though, not the second or first. Your first team offensive line, very important to take away as we struggle with the O-line, was Trent Brown at left tackle, Cole Strange at left guard, David Andrews at center. They had Bill Murray, the former defensive lineman, plugged in there at right guard while Michael Onwenu is out. They are very high on Bill Murray, especially since he has switched to the offensive line, something to 100% take away. Riley Reef was your starting right tackle today. This is a guy that during minicamp and OTAs, whenever he was there, was working with the second team, wasn't working with the first. Connor McDermott was the guy that was plugged in as your starting right tackle, and at least for today, it wasn't even close. They gave those starting right tackle reps to veteran right tackle in offseason addition, Riley Reef. The second team offense from left tackle to right tackle, Andrew Stuber, James Ferentz, Jake Andrews, Chasen Hines, and Connor McDermott. So it looks like these rookies, at least for today, weren't really working with the first or second team offense. Very interesting. Now, Riley Reef, like I said, he pretty much got all the essential right tackle reps today. Nobody else got those reps over him. Before we move on to the defense, though, I do have something special for you guys. Take a listen. Guys, listen up, because I'm about to give you a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make some serious money. So if you're somebody who likes money, and who doesn't like free, easy money, then don't skip and listen up. Go ahead and download the Sleeper app right now, guys. Sleeper is the best parlay player prop service that you are going to find around. They also have some of the best odds for you to bet on to guarantee yourself some easy money, such as anytime touchdown, and you can bet on anything, all the way from the NFL to the MLB to the NHL and even college football and college basketball. I'm going to put a link in the description box and the comment section below for you guys to download the Sleeper app. Make sure to use my code GLOBAL because they will match your first deposit just by using that promo code GLOBAL. So for example, if you deposit $20, guess what? Now you have $40 free to bet with. This is your time to make some serious money, my friends. So make sure you guys go ahead and check out the Sleeper app. This offer isn't here forever. So if you guys want to make some serious cash, now is your opportunity to do so. Go ahead and check out the Sleeper app. Yes, guys, go ahead and check out the Sleeper app. This really is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for you guys to get. If you are a bettor, then this is definitely the app for you. This is probably the cleanest app that I've ever seen. And just the difference between the Sleeper app compared to other apps and the opportunities you can get is so different. And I want to be able to give back to you guys for all you did for me and have continued to do for me. So make sure you guys go check that out because it really is an excellent way for you guys to make money as long as you know what you're doing when it comes to betting. But let's get to the defense here before we wrap up today's video. As for the defensive line, guys who had sacks today, Josh Uche had one, no surprise there. Dietrich Wise also had one. Pass breakups, Christian Barmore had one. And then Lawrence Guy returned to his usual role. There was nothing to really take away. He didn't stand out. He didn't make any plays, but he came back and he returned to the exact role as he's been since the Patriots picked him up as a free agent back in, I believe, 2017. Excuse me, moving on to the linebackers here, Jelani Tavai had a pass breakup. Mac Wilson had a pass breakup. And then moving on to cornerbacks here, because there really wasn't a lot to say about the linebackers. It's something that I will say about camp before the pads go on. It's just like OTAs. It's just like mini camp. There's not a whole lot to necessarily take away because there's not contact, right? They're not actually sacking the quarterback. They're not actually making tackles. There's not a lot of contact overall. So I wouldn't necessarily put a whole bunch of stock into this until the pads go on. That's when I would start to put some more stock into it because then there's contact and that's when you're the closest to real football as possible. And that's why you're not necessarily hearing a lot about playmakers on, let's say, the defensive line or linebackers in general. That will probably ramp up when we get pads on in a few days. As for cornerbacks, though, lots of pass breakups today for these DBs. Shaun Wade had 2 pass breakups. Marcus Jones had 1. Miles Bryant had 1. Isaiah Bolden had 1. Quandre Mosley had 1. Rodney Randall had 1. Pretty much every cornerback, for the most part, had a pass breakup today. At least one. So your starting cornerbacks today in 11-on-11s went as followed. You had Jonathan Jones on the perimeter, Christian Gonzalez on the perimeter, and then you also had Miles Bryant working there in the slot. Something that I took away today that was probably the most stock I would put in, at least from a defensive standpoint, is Jack Jones was present, but he wasn't working with the starting defense. Not at all. He didn't get any reps with the starting defense. Jack Jones was working today with the second team defense only. It looks like the Patriots want to get him those reps, but until they know what's going on with Jack Jones and these legal issues, they're not going to be giving him quality snaps on first team defense. If they can't rely on him, they don't know they can rely on him yet, they're not going to put him into a starting placement for this upcoming season. They want to know, hey, if you're here, great. We would love to have you as a starting cornerback for us, but we need to think in a world without you and be prepared in case that is the world in which happens. So Jack Jones looks like he's not getting starting team snaps here with the defense until we at least know what's going on with him. Moving on to safeties, interceptions, Kyle Duggar had one that was off of Mac Jones. Pass breakups, Jabril Peppers had one and Brendan Schooler had one. And Jabril Peppers also had a sack. Looks like the Patriots are going to continue to use him in a rover role and use him pretty much everywhere. That is how you best utilize a guy like Jabril Peppers. He's kind of like name's totally escaping me, from the Seahawks, Adams. A guy that we're very familiar was with the Jets at one point, then the Seahawks. I could see them using him in that exact type of role. Moving on to special teams here. Your punt returners today were Demario Douglas, Marcus Jones, and Miles Bryant. We didn't hear about kick returners. That's what I would put more stock into than punt returners because we know that guys are going to be Marcus Jones. And then your punter / long snapper combinations went as followed. Bryce Behringer was working with starting long snapper Joe Cardona, and Waitman was working with backup long snapper in Tucker Addington. What are your guys' takeaways, though, from today's first day of training camp? Let me know in the comment section below. Remember to leave a big like on this video. Like I said before, really goes a long way. And of course, subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. I will see you guys tomorrow for another New England Patriots training camp recap. I got you guys covered for it all. Make sure you guys hit that bell notification so that you are notified whenever I post a video. And guys, download the Sleeper app. Check it out because it's 100% worth it. I'm telling you. Checked it out myself. I'm trying to do you guys here a solid. Without further ado, though, go Pats, baby. And I will catch you guys in